when you write bad, don't blame anyone but blame yourself. Then the last point, which is lots of people, they are not aware of it. Qadarullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wrote to you. Lots of people, they do mistakes, they do crimes, they tell lies, they are not good, and when we ask them, they blame Qadar. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wrote to me. But how you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wrote to you to kill? You know it when you did it. You know that you have the choice to be a good or bad. So as a human being, I'm not speaking about Muslims only. You have to observe yourself. You have to observe your behavior. You have to observe your tongue. You have to observe your eyes. You have to observe your body. All in one. And act always to the good side. Never go. Never go. Never move. Never think about doing bad. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He creates us, He asks us to do one thing only, to worship Him. And lots of people, they understand worshipping is to pray 5 times a day. That's it. This is not Islam. This is not the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you need to do it every single minute. When you are in school, you are worshipping Allah. When you are at work, you are worshipping Allah. When you are in college, you are worshipping Allah. When you are at work, you are worshipping Allah. When you are at home, you are worshipping Allah. When you speak, you are worshipping Allah. When you do shopping, which is normal for everyone, you are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's the key for all this? How I need to transfer my usual habits, my life, my normal life, to a worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is very simple. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the hadith, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Actions are by intention. By this intention, when you smile in the face of your Muslim brother, you get reward. If you intend to make him happy, but don't do it for your Muslim sister. Brother to brother and sister to sister. Otherwise we will go to an area which is, we intend to do good, but we end up doing haram. For Muslim sisters, women in Islam, they have a very high position. Very high position. And our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when they ask him, the Sahaba, they ask him, who is the most beloved one to you, Rasulullah? And what's the answer? Anyone knows?
Your mother.
My mother. Jazakallah khair. Aisha radiallahu anha, his wife. He's proudly say it in front of everyone. That's the most beloved one to him is Aisha radiallahu anha, his wife. So that's why the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he indicated for us, and he said clearly for us how to treat the women in the Muslim society. And not only this woman, it could be your mother, it could be your sister, it could be your daughter, it could be your auntie, it could be your wife. So as you like to treat your mom, daughters, sisters, aunties, cousins, treat the other women. They have a so high state in Islam, and very important issues in Islam they have. So back to our subject, to aqeedah, you need to know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to worship Him in the right way. How I worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It is very easy and simple. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he directed us to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The most basic answer is to pray 5 times a day. I don't know how Muslim he claimed he is a Muslim, and when you ask him about his prayer, he said, on and off. On and off. That means how much percentage you have for your Lord, for God, for Allah, heart. It is according to your percentage of practicing the deen. And sometimes we hear it a lot. Some people, they said, my heart is clean. I'm a very nice person. I'm speaking the truth. You are not. You are deceiving yourself. It's like someone taking drugs and then hearing that it is giving him treatment. You are killing yourself, but you don't know. About the Prophet ﷺ, we need to know how to love him, how not to exceed in our loving, and how not to decrease our loving to him. We love the Prophet ﷺ even before ourselves, even before our father, mother, families, everyone. The Prophet ﷺ is number one in our life. When you say that, then you have to follow him in every single move in your life. It is not acceptable for any Muslim to claim that he is follower to the Prophet ﷺ and then he is not a person who is successful in his life. This is not a real Muslim who is loving the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ, he wants from you as a Muslim to be always in the front line, always to be the example, always to be the leader, not to be led by someone else. This is the one, when he do it like this, he will show me and he will tell me by his action that he is really loving the Prophet ﷺ. And about Quran, it is not, this Quran, it is not to be here on the shelf, or to recite the Quran when we start our ceremony, or when we have someone who died, we recite Quran, we remember Quran, we call the Shaykh from the masjid, please come and make dua for that dead person. Tell me when the time is over. Okay? So, this Quran is to be in your hearts. Memorize it. And not only memorize it, you need to act according to the Quran. Read it, learn it, recite it. You will be very happy. You will feel no stress in your life. You will be always the most important person on this earth because you have the Quran in your heart. But if you neglect the Quran, it is like you are studying in the college, but you are neglecting your books. When you come to the exam, you will have no result. You will lose, and you will cry, while the others, they are moving and moving every year. When it comes to the Qadr Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Qadr Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's been written for you. As a Muslim, Qadr is something pushing me forward always. Not to sit back and say, this is my Qadr. Your Qadr is to be always acting in the highest level. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your life. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he told us that in the day of judgment, no one will pass to the paradise unless he answers 4 questions. And one of these questions is your life, your youth period of your life, because you have lots of energy in your body, lots of time, lots of activities you can do. Don't look at me, I am over 40 now. We have no time, always busy with the people. But you have plenty of time. You benefit from that time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask you about your money, from where you get it and where you spend it. If you ask yourself now about this question, from where you get your money and where you are spending your money, what's the answer? Everybody will cover his face. We are depending on the others. While the Prophet ﷺ, he said, there is no teenagers in Islam. Don't say I'm teenage, still I asked my daddy to spend money on me. No. Be a man and get your money by your effort.